Hey, this is Matt once again. What about the videos? The paid request is time for Marion. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And when I saw this requested, and I will admit I smiled because it's been a while since I've seen this movie, and that is Malibu's Most Wanted. This is the DVD from Warner Brothers. I know everybody hates these snapper cases. I actually like them. I never had an issue with them. I like how sturdy they feel. People talk about how they break apart. I got a lot of these. I've never had one of these break apart, so I'm the only person that likes these snapper cases. I do. But I saw this film in the theater in 2003. I've said this throughout with other reviews, but 2003, that was a year where I lived near a movie theater. Went to the theaters, if not on a weekly basis, then like every other week. And a lot of times I would go there and go, what's playing? Okay, that's playing. Okay, I got this time, and when go into a little arcade they have here, play some games. Usually it was Time Crisis. Alright, time to get some popcorn, maybe some to drink, go and watch a movie. And whether it be that year, Kangaroo Jack, Identity. This is around like 2003 and 2004, like that era, that span, 2000 2004. So it'd be like Kangaroo Jack, Identity, Terminator 3, Matrix Reloaded, Matrix Revolutions, Hulk, and among other films, including this. And if you're wondering, the DVD has additional scenes, a commentary with Jamie Tindy and others, Anthony Anderson, Regina Hall, and filmmakers. Some of the people that helped write this film actually helped create MADtv. And the script, Jamie Tindy and Nick Swardson, who's in the film, they had a hand in it. Because Jamie Tindy would play this character that would end up in his stand-up, as well on a TV show he was doing called The Jamie Tindy Experiment, which I love that show. I'm sad they only lasted 3 years. I actually want to get that on DVD. I have some DVDs that are a little bit stuffed up, so I would like to rebuy the Jamie Tindy Experiment. I wish they had them all in one set, or they have them re-released, but I think you can get them pretty decent on Amazon. But yeah, that was on the WB at the time. It was only 3 seasons, sadly. And that's a fun show. It was candid camera type of thing, hidden cameras, where it'd be real people being pranked on, but then Jamie Tindy would play a character. And you kind of get the people's real reactions, whether it be Jamie Tindy as a judge, or as a girl having this guy as a boyfriend, and you get the parents' reactions of what the hell's going on. And the cover pretty much tells you what the story is. What if a guy like Jamie Kennedy was a white rapper? I don't mean with an R, I mean with a WR. Candy rapper, just believed he was in the streets, believed he was in the hood, and he comes from a rich family in Malibu. His dad's played by Ryan O'Neal. His mom's played by Bo Derek. Which I don't know why they cast Bo Derek. I mean, it's cool to see her in there, but she really has nothing to do. I don't think she has more than 5 sentences in the movie. And Bo Derek was in 10 with Dudley Moore back in the day. She was in Tommy Boy with Chris Farley. It's cool to see her there, but again, she has nothing to do, so they couldn't really cast anybody. But anyway, they're the parents, and the dad's running for governor. The campaign managers, in particular Blair Underwood, they see that this kid is a liability. He would embarrass the dad and then hurt the campaign. So Blair Underwood gets this idea to hire 2 actors, played by Anthony Anderson and Taye Diggs, these guys here, to kidnap Jamie Kennedy, bring him to the hood, and, in Blair Underwood's words, steer the black out of him. And I like that there's another guy, what the hell you say? And the guy gets pissed and leaves. Now, a few things. Number one, I appreciate that this is a pretty short film. If you take out the end credits, it's like an hour and 20 minutes at most. It goes by, I thought, a pretty good pace. I think it depends how you feel about Jamie Kennedy, on whether you enjoy this film or not. Now, for me, I enjoy the guy. I really do. I'm a Jamie Kennedy fan. I first saw him on Scream, that movie. Really liked him and his character. It's one of the reasons I got so pissed off with Scream 2 is because I hated what they did with his character. I hated how they killed him off. Just my opinion on that. Loved him on the Jamie Kennedy, like I said, the Jamie Kennedy Experiment. That was a lot of fun. And, you know, I would see him pop up in bit roles, Enemy of the State, Bowfinger with Steve Martin and Eddie Murphy. But sadly, he didn't do a whole lot of bigger roles other than Son of the Mask, which is awful. Although, it wasn't Jamie Kennedy's fault. If you put anybody in that movie, it still would have been awful. Just number one, is damn near impossible to follow in the shoes of Jim Carrey. And number two is just a lot of poor decisions in that movie. Especially the creepy looking baby CGI. I don't know what the, like trying to be a Tex Avery cartoon and failing. Like I said, I don't care if you who you put in there. It was fucking Bill Murray. Or, okay, let me think of someone younger. Chris Rock, Jamie Foxx. I don't care who you put in there. It would not have worked. And then one was Tipping at Old School, which is okay. I could watch the movie. I think mainly for the cast. Because you got Bobby Lee and Miguel Nunez Jr. I think, what's that? I think Michael Rosenbaum is in that. Who was Lex Luthor on the TV show Smallville. I mean, that I could watch as a time waster. This one I found a bit funnier. More consistently funny. So yeah, it's going to depend how you feel about Jamie Kennedy. And his character, I do see how some people may find his character irritating. It was the opposite for me. I found him kind of funny and endearing. Because he really did believe in this way of life, and his character is more innocent. And he's not harsh or mean or anything. And I just love the play on being gangster in Malibu, whether it be his cohorts. Nick Swardson, holy shit, he's actually okay in the movie. He's given very little to do, and for the most part, he's more subdued than you would see Nick Swardson later on. And then another of the cohorts, Cal Penn. Kumar from later in Harold Kumar Go to White Castle in that trilogy. The Kumar and that Cal Penn is in this. I forgot he was in this. And I forget the big lady's name, but they nickname her Monster. I like the line Jamie Kennedy says, "She had a big chip on her shoulder, then she ate it." I know it's a silly joke, but I did laugh at it, I will admit. But it sets up the characters. Again, I found them entertaining and endearing because Jamie Kennedy's character meant well. He didn't want to hurt anybody. You could tell this guy had a good heart underneath. And another thing that helped were these two guys, Taye Diggs and Anthony Anderson. You know, I like the idea of these two guys are actors, and they don't like that they have to do the stereotypes again, but they do it. So they're established actors, but then they're trying to add gangster. They can't quite do it. So, like Taye Diggs is trying to learn the lingo, and he's reading some stuff, and he's trying to use it, but he's not using it correctly. So, like, Anthony Anderson comes up on him, and Taye Diggs is like, you freaking whack, and don't diss me. or they're trying to act gangster and what you pull out the guns and say biatch. I don't know. No, think Tupac. Come on, collect the guns. Biatch. Do it. This me. Biatch. Biatch. I'm doing a piss poor job of it, but just the way, especially Taye Diggs, who I do like as an actor, especially, he's in this show called Daybreak. Sadly, only lasted one season. It was on Fox. It's pretty much if 24 met Groundhog Day. That's how I view it. And that was a good one. I did like that one. And he's done other stuff too. House on Haunted Hill, 1999. I like that movie. So the way they act and the way their rapport with each other, I thought was rather funny. And so again, they kidnap him. They hire Regina Hall, who was in the Scary Movie films, to seduce him at first so that they could grab him and then try to get him to turn, but it's not working. And then Regina Hall starts to see that this guy, he's not doing it to be a dick, or he's not acting this way for any reason other than this is just what he believes in, and he's an innocent soul. There's no harm being put into it. I like Regina Hall. I've liked her in quite a few movies. She gave me one of the only laughs I got out of Scary Movie 3. I know a lot of people like that film. I do not, but she's of the 3 chuckles I got out of that movie, she was the source of 2 of them. One was, now who the fuck threw that? When Tiz threw some shit at the wall. The second is her fighting the ring lady and, oh, you mean man now, bitch. Just the way her attitude. Listen, I do like Regina Hall quite a bit. And like I say, whether you enjoy this film or not is going to depend how you feel about Jamie Kennedy's character, his mannerisms, the way he's talking, the way he's acting. I found it funny, goofy, silly, but entertaining. Some people might find it cringeworthy or annoying. Again, I did not. Some other bits that made me chuckle, for example, Taye Diggs and Anthony Anderson, they tried to get him to rob a place, and they figured, okay, he's going to be too scared to do it. And then they misconstrued, and they thought one or the other hired an actor, and they realized, wait a minute, you tell me the guy who owns the store doesn't know this? So Jamie T is thinking whether he should rob the place, but he gets his emergency stash and gives him the money. And then he's like, listen, I'm going to do something. I know it's going to seem silly, but don't shoot me, okay? Oh, yeah, that's right, man. That's right, man. So he pretends he stole this booze. And then one of them finds the receipt. It's like, oh, yeah? If you stole this shit, how come you have this? I stole that too. How come you have the receipt? I stole that too. Just the way he said that, I got a chuckle out of me. I also like that they play on the cliche where certain movies like this, there's a time when there's a rap battle. And usually what they'll do is, okay, people think he's whack, people think he's not good. And then lo and behold, in his moment to shine, his talent will flourish. And wow, this guy can do it very well. He's impressive. He's a lot better than I thought. And when the pressure's on, no, he ends up being horrible and they throw his ass out. And then it has these 2 terrorists making fun of him. So I like they didn't go with the typical, he don't show that he's actually a much better rapper. No, they're consistent that he's a shit rapper. For the whole way, there's never a moment where they just automatically go, yeah, he's a good rapper. No, they still, because that makes it in a weird way a bit more truthful, because his rapping really is shitty. What was one of the early ones? I go to the sink and vomit, clean up with comment. And I mean, not every joke works. He has this little, I don't know, fantasy bit where I know some people like this, but for me, it's like, eh, where a rat starts talking to him and it's voiced by Snoop Dogg and kind of gives him, hey, cheer up, but then also disses him and saying your rap does suck. I mean, it's cool to have Snoop Dogg in there, but I mean, I don't know. Just something about it was my least favorite scene. I'm like, okay, whatever. Maybe because as goofy and silly as it is, that's the first bit to be truly fantastical. But that's happened in other comedies too, where they throw in a bit of fan. But I don't know, just. It's not even like. Oh, I can't even remember. Like, it's not like he smoked something, he imagined it. It literally is like. Unless I missed something there. But like I said, the cast works well. I found Jamie Tandy fairly funny in it. Anthony Anderson and Taye Diggs, they worked well with each other. By the third act, Jamie Tandy finds out what's going on. So now he thinks everything's fake, including when they do get in the middle of real danger and they're getting shot at. And then Jamie Tandy does his version of Training Day where he grabs the guns and Team Colin got nothing on me. And the other game members, wow, that's really cool, man. How'd you learn that? Grand Theft Auto. Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, you have PlayStation? I got a Gamecast. Well, there's a GameCube and a Dreamcast. You heard what I said? I got a Gamecast. I can't afford anything more. Oh, another line I did like. Because it is PG-13, so they do get away with one of these. Where when Jimmy Titty thinks these are actors, and he turns to the guy and goes, oh, you that weak fuck from the club. It's because of his line delivery I thought it worked well. And I mean, that's the sad thing with Jamie Tandy is that now that he only had probably 3 opportunities to star in a movie. This one, which is best of the 3. Son of the Mask, which is the worst of the 3, and Catastrophe. And Kitty at Old School, which just came off as, in a weird way, a lesser version of this. Instead of rapping, it was breakdancing, and yeah, I could watch it. It's okay, but not nearly as good as this. Pretty much it ends with all the characters kind of getting together, and they crash this guy's crib, and there's a standoff, and then things work out for the end. And for those who are checking it out, I'm sure you can find it easily to watch out there in the interwebs. I just remember thinking, man, this movie feels a bit too short. And I guess that's the makings of a movie I enjoy where I wish it was longer. I'm like, man, I wish this film was about, 10, 15 minutes longer. I don't know what you would put in there. I haven't given it much thought, but like I said, just had a fun, goofy, silly time. And it still made me chuckle and laugh. And again, it makes me want to go back and rewatch like the Jamie Tandy Experiment, among other stuff. And who knows, maybe even watch Ticket Old School, see how that in today's age holds up or doesn't hold up. But yeah, I remember having a good time at the theater. This film was a decent hit. I think it at least doubled its budget. And nice showcase of Jamie Tandy's talent. Again, this is a guy that kind of... It's too bad he didn't get to do a whole lot more out there. Like I said, I mean... I guess like the past 20 years... Actually, no, this is 20 years ago, now that I think about it. 2003. 20th anniversary of this. God damn. I just realized that. It was 20 years ago. God, I feel old. I feel really old now. 20 years ago I saw this in the theater. 20 years. I would want to say that for 20, Jamie Tandy, at least past 10 years, he was in a couple of the Tremor sequels. I know he has a YouTube channel now. He does stand up. But you don't see him as much anymore in movies and such, which is too bad. But yeah. I know my friend Fabio met him at a convention, and Fabio's, my friend said he was a nice guy. Me with him, he was a cool guy. So that was nice. And trying to think. Yeah, other than that, thanks for watching. Take care. Still think this is a fun movie. Still think it's a movie that holds up. I would say one other thing. I wish, in a weird way, we could have seen more of these three interacting with each other. I know this sounds stupid, but I just maybe in the third act, like maybe we see Anthony Anderson and Taye Diggs kind of change their ways, and then they also, like, even though Jamie Kennedy knows, they admit what happened and this is why we did it and we're offered money and let's try to help you out. And that, I don't know, maybe Jamie Kennedy does get kidnapped and then Anthony Anderson and Taye Diggs have to use their acting abilities to sneak into this gang member and act tough and help this guy out as retribution, and the three of them have to work together to get out of this gang member situation. Maybe a finale involving bit of that would have been nice to see. And again, we didn't need to see the rat voiced by Snoop Dogg. He's like, I don't know. This felt kind of like, really? What the fuck? That's kind of my reaction. What the fuck? Why is this here? But overall, still a fun movie. So thanks for watching. Take care, and we will see you guys later. Bye-bye.